Tonight on NewsWatch, is the worst over? The wild weather responsible for deadly tornadoes and flooding rains. Plus, what's causing a killer virus, the new SARS-like disease that's spreading across the globe. And why chia is the latest superfood sweeping the nation. All this and more tonight on NewsWatch. Good evening, I'm Mark Martin. The National Weather Service says the worst may finally be over in Oklahoma after more than a dozen people died in the storm-battered state. The system moved on to drench New England over the weekend, causing power outages and flight delays. Meanwhile, in California and the desert Southwest, the big threat is fire. And as John Waggy explains in tonight's top story, forecasters warn more wild weather could hit much of the country again this week.
The storm damage toll in Oklahoma was already in the billions. Now it will go higher after more tornadoes left residents with splintered homes, shattered cars, and broken hearts.
I really love my home. This house is 117 years old, and I was like, we're okay. It's going to be fine. And, you know, it's just not.
The latest of two terrifying storms hit Friday, producing at least 5 tornadoes and massive flooding. One twister plowed through a crowded interstate and a suburban neighborhood. Among the dead in Oklahoma, 3 storm chasers who were researching tornadoes to help improve warning systems and predict future storms.
He devoted literally his life to saving others' lives and to be able to capture tornadoes and to be able to save lives through the technology he's developed.
Operation Blessing is still on the ground in Oklahoma, helping residents cope and pick up the pieces.
Let's go back towards the bed. You guys are good? All right, we're clear. We're clear. We can move this way.
Volunteers are working with residents to clear debris and repair homes. They're also providing all-important hugs and spiritual support through prayer. Oklahoma was the state hardest hit, but residents of St. Charles County, Missouri also weathered a tornado.
Watching the trees going back and forth, up and down. When my ears popped, that's when I knew I ran for cover. About 15 seconds later, it was all done.
As the storms moved east, they pelted New England, uprooting trees and leaving tens of thousands without power. And on the West Coast, fire. Blazes raging in Southern California have destroyed more than 20,000 acres north of Los Angeles. At least 2,000 firefighters are doing battle.
This is a very volatile situation right now, as you can tell by the winds. That is extreme fire behavior.
And it isn't just California. Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Oregon all are trying to contain fires as the summer season begins. John Waggy, CBN News.
The chairman of a government watchdog committee claims the Cincinnati IRS agents who targeted Tea Party groups were, quote, being directly ordered from Washington. Republican Congressman Darrell Issa released excerpts of interviews with employees. Issa says they show the employees were directed by Washington to subject conservatives to tough scrutiny.
President's spokesperson is saying whatever is convenient at the time, and the story changes. What we have are people who come in to transcribed interviews. They're saying under penalty of crimes that certain things are true. We have subpoenaed documents that would support that they say emails that went back and forth.
The top Democrat on that panel, Congressman Elijah Cummings, says there's nothing in the Inspector General's report that backs ISIS claims. Meanwhile, the IRS is at the center of another spending scandal. A government watchdog says it wasted about $50 million on 220 conferences between 2010 and 2012. That included $4 million for an August 2010 gathering in Anaheim, California. Wow. Illinois conservatives defeated a campaign by gay activists to push through a same-sex marriage bill last week. The Illinois Senate had approved the measure in February, but the State House adjourned Friday without voting on the measure. That despite months of fierce campaigning on the issue. President Obama even jumped in at the last minute, urging lawmakers to approve gay marriage in his home state. Gay activists thought momentum was in their favor after several other states recently approved it, but conservative black pastors and other church leaders fought back with radio commercials, robocalls, and lobbying. Gay marriage supporters say they won't give up in Illinois. With only a few weeks left in the current term, the Supreme Court will soon issue its decisions on gay marriage cases. Back in March, the justices heard arguments in two such cases. The Defense of Marriage Act, that's the federal law defining marriage as between one man and one woman, and California's Proposition 8, the state's voter-approved ban on gay marriage. Since the High Court took up the issue, 3 states in the country have approved same-sex marriage measures, leading some to wonder if that will impact the justices' decisions. In health news tonight, it's a disease that's killed half of all the people diagnosed with it, and doctors are warning it's only a matter of time before it arrives in the U.S. Charlene Israel reports.
The world's leading health officials are frantically studying a new mystery virus in an effort to avoid a serious outbreak. It's being called MERS, and so far its victims all have one thing in common. They've either traveled to the Middle East or come in very close contact with someone who did.
We really need, as fast as possible, to learn how to control this virus. We have to try to run faster than the virus does.
49 cases of the new disease have been reported since June. 27 of those cases have died. That's a 52% mortality rate. The first cases were reported in Saudi Arabia, but already people in at least 7 countries have become infected. Health experts compare the virus to SARS. That's the deadly respiratory virus that took off nearly 10 years ago, spreading first between 12 hotel guests and then across the entire globe after those guests got on airplanes. Within 9 months, there were more than 8,000 cases and more than 700 deaths. For now, researchers remain clueless. They know that the symptoms of MERS include fever, chills, and muscle aches, later breathing problems. But it's still unclear what the host animal of the virus is and how it spread to humans. Charlene Israel, CBN News.
A Planned Parenthood clinic in Delaware performed abortions like a meat market-style assembly line. That was the charge from one of the 2 nurses who testified before a state Senate hearing. Both nurses quit their positions with Planned Parenthood because of the terrible conditions in the 2 clinics. Jane Mitchell-Werbrick testified that her experience was, quote, an absolute nightmare. She said, quote, this type of care was something I had never seen before in my entire nursing career. On an average day at the Wilmington Planned Parenthood site, 1 abortion would be completed every 8 to 10 minutes. And Joyce Vasakonis said, what I found was that the culture of Planned Parenthood of Delaware was focused on maximizing profits in the bottom line, not quality health care for women. Both nurses say they are not opposed to abortion, but they are opposed to the poor practices in the clinics. State Attorney General Beau Biden's office has filed a complaint against one of the doctors in the clinics, but one of the nurses says he was only a small part of the problem. Planned Parenthood says it takes swift action to correct problems. Senators from both parties say the clinics need tighter regulation. A Central Florida school district is apologizing for using eye scanning tracking devices on students without their parents' permission. According to Fox News, high-tech eye scanning cameras were used on students at Davenport School of the Arts, Daniel Jenkins Academy, and Bethune Academy in Polk County. The cameras were installed on school buses as part of a security program. The cameras actually captured students' names and identification numbers, but parents were never notified about the tracking system. School officials have now apologized for not giving parents a chance to opt out. Smartphone users who want to ditch their passwords could soon be able to use electronic tattoos or even pills to do the job. Motorola showed off the latest tattoo technology at a recent tech conference. The so-called biostamps contain flexible electronic circuits that attach to the skin with a rubber stamp. To verify identity, users would just place their smartphone near their tattoo. Motorola is also touting its computer chip pills. Once you swallow them, stomach acid powers the tiny tablets, which give off an ECG trace that can verify identity. Privacy advocates say they're concerned about these latest developments, and no wonder. But a Motorola spokeswoman says the company won't be put off by people who find the technology, quote, creepy. Coming up, why some say it's important for Christians in the UK to speak out about their faith.
From CBN.
Broken Eardrum is playing at the Civic tonight.
And you'll just have to miss it.
This is so incredibly unfair.
A special story of love and sacrifice.
Joy, Mom comes up with something.
Christopher Quantum, you and I are going to discuss your attitude right this minute. Superbook.
No.
Join the Superbook DVD Club and get Superbook's newest episode, He is Risen. Plus 2 copies to share with others. All for your gift of $25.
They have arrested Jesus, the Messiah. Do you not know that I have the power to crucify you?
No! Please! You can't! They've taken him to Golgotha. We must hurry. Mary is about to lose her son. The worst thing any mother could face. I am not leaving her.
Superbook. It's an amazing way to build a strong spiritual foundation in the children you love.
Mary, who are you looking for?
I've seen him! He is alive!
Superbook. He is Risen. Available now.
Your dryer runs forever, and your clothes still come out damp? Now you can speed up your dryer by up to 15 minutes. Introducing the Lint Lizard. It's like a magic wand that cleans deep into any dryer. The flexible Lint Lizard attaches right to any vacuum hose. Look how much lint we got out of this dryer. All this lint that escapes past your lint screen. Yuck! A clogged dryer works harder. All that lint can even burn out your motor. Or worse, it can start a dangerous vent fire. It's a full 40 inches long and cleans deep into your vent system, grabbing all the packed-in lint that's choking your dryer. After a quick cleaning with the Lint Lizard, your dryer vent is clear, making it work less and run more efficiently. Old-fashioned lint brushes pull out some lint, and the lint gets everywhere. The Lint Lizard cleans deeper and sends the lint right into your vac bag. Vacuuming between machines and under appliances is a snap. Take it outdoors to vac your outside vent. So before you spend a fortune on costly repairs, order your Lint Lizard for just $10.99. Call right now and you can double your order. And that's not all. We'll also include the Dust Lizard. It attaches to any vac and adjusts to any position. The Dust Lizard goes where no other attachment can. Clean delicate electronics, tedious air vents, tiny tile crevices, crumbs from corners, dirt from slider tracks, places you could never vacuum before, even expensive sculptures and intricate chandeliers. Plus, the Lint Lizard comes with a money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, return them and keep the Dust Lizard. You get it all, 2 Lint Lizards and the Dust Lizard for $10.99. Call now and find out about free shipping.
Call 1-800-373-2150 and get your Lint Lizard. But call now and you can get a special offer on a second Lint Lizard and the Dust Lizard with your order. So call 1-800-373-2150 and find out about free shipping. That's 1-800-373-2150. Call now.
The wife of the Christian pastor jailed and tortured in Iran pled her husband's case before the UN Human Rights Council today. Naghmeh Abedini and Jordan Sekulow of the American Center for Law and Justice urged the panel to defend the persecuted church. Naghmeh specifically asked member states to take more action on her husband's behalf. Saeed Abedini was sentenced to 8 years in Tehran's notorious Evin prison because of his Christian faith. More than 600,000 people worldwide have signed a petition asking for Saeed's release. For more information and a link to that petition, visit our website, cbnnews.com. 2/3 of Christians in the United Kingdom believe they are a persecuted minority, according to a recent poll. Former Archbishop of Canterbury, George Carey, disagrees with those findings, but he does believe believers there are experiencing more discrimination than ever before. Our UK correspondent Peter Wooding spoke with Lord Carey about his views.
Prime Minister David Cameron's support for gay marriage, along with a growing number of discrimination cases against Christians in the workplace, had led former Archbishop of Canterbury, Lord Carey, to accuse the PM of betraying Christians. Lord Carey's article in the Daily Mail accused the government of aiding and abetting discrimination against Christians and said many doubted David Cameron's sincerity in pledging to protect their freedoms.
Yes, I was very keen to make a very clear statement about what I regard as the duplicity of the Prime Minister in saying wonderful words about the Christian church and what the leaders are doing, but the actions of his government go in a completely different direction.
He cites a number of cases where the government has discriminated against Christians in the workplace.
Christians are being discriminated against and some are losing their jobs. Therefore, I think we've really got to stand up for our faith today, whether in America or in Britain, elsewhere. I've often said, if you behave like a doormat, don't be surprised if people treat you like one.
Lord Carey believes it's especially crucial for Christians to speak out against the Cameron government's push to legalise gay marriage.
We must actually work with the government not to rescind our marital laws, but to strengthen marriage of one man to one woman with the ideal of till death us do part.
However, he made it clear he does not believe Christians in the West are persecuted, and he does not believe the PM has an anti-Christian agenda. He says the growing decline of religious freedoms has more to do with lack of biblical knowledge.
I think a lot of it has to do with ignorance. We've lost the whole hinterland of Christian theology in our country. And so people can confuse marriage with just being nice to one another. And if one man loves another man, then that is the equal of marriage, which of course it's not. We're inheriting now a heritage of neglect of the Bible. And I think it's a challenge to the churches to get back to scriptural teaching.
Yet he believes that while Christians must speak out, they must be careful in how they communicate their message.
Don't really take anything for granted. Don't let people get away with it, argue. But the second and most important thing is get the tone right. Speak with gentleness. Speak in the truth and love. Be courteous to others.
So as Lord Carey sends out this challenge to UK churches to bring their voices before government, the question remains, will David Cameron listen and bring this nation back to godly values? Peter Wooding for CBN News, London, England.
Up next, the surprising superfood doctors say can keep you healthy.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
In 2008, my husband Gary departed for heaven. I was still grieving. And then to find out I had cancer, I began praying, God, how do I do this? Where do I do this? Cancer Treatment Centers of America was the place. Dr. Neelam outlined a plan that would take care of my mind and my body, and she prayed with me.
For Bible-believing Christians, we're able to pray with them in a much deeper way as they begin to really rely upon their faith.
At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, we believe in the power of faith and prayer as indispensable allies in the fight against complex and advanced stage cancer.
I'm back in Telluride on the mountain skiing. I feel strong and healthy.
Advanced medicine and technology.
And I am a survivor.
The warm embrace of the spirit and the power of prayer.
These are happy tears.
Please go to cancercenter.com/faith. Appointments available now. Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Care that never quits.
Welcome back. Missing your morning cup of coffee could lead to a mental health disorder. The American Psychiatric Association's Manual of Mental Disorders now names caffeine withdrawal as an illness. Symptoms include fatigue, headache, and difficulty focusing.
Yeah, I ended up with a really bad headache.
You wouldn't want to be around me without caffeine. I'll just put it that way.
The scary part is, all the things that you don't know have caffeine in it that you're not intentionally trying to stimulate yourself with.
Good point. Doctors say caffeine is safe to about 400 milligrams a day. That's about 4 cups of coffee. Doctors often credit healthy and long lives to eating right. And now many are raving about a new superfood, chia. In tonight's Focus Report, Lori Johnson explores the value of the small seed.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows.
For years, chia pets have been tickling our funny bone. You spread chia seeds on a toy animal, the seeds grow and look like hair. It turns out, instead of laughing at chia seeds, we should have been eating them. They're incredibly healthy, to the extent that chia is the new superfood. Most of us have never heard of eating chia seeds, but the idea is actually very old. In fact, hundreds of years ago, Aztec warriors ate chia seeds to stay strong in battle. Now, chia is the cornerstone of Dr. Bob Arnott's Aztec diet.
Most people in a diet complain about this brain-searing hunger. I mean, they are always miserably hungry. So the advantage here is that with chia, you put it in your stomach and it grows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times its size in your stomach, and was described by one magazine as mini lap band surgery.
At just 70 calories, these remarkable little seeds bring you 6 times more calcium than milk, 3 times more iron than spinach, and 8 times the omega-3s found in salmon.
In the brain, you need a certain amount of omega-3 fatty acids to feel good. We know that there are studies of depression and manic depressive illness where patients who have lots of omega-3 fatty acids do better. It's even used as part of some treatment regimens.
Chia also contains magnesium, selenium, fiber, and protein. That's important because, believe it or not, overweight people are often malnourished. In fact, that's how we get fat. We stuff ourselves with junk food thinking it will satisfy our needs. But the truth is, it's only when we get enough micronutrients that we finally stop wanting more food.
You know, we're not getting the minerals and vitamins and antioxidants that we need in our diet. So with our burgers and fries and whatnot, and eating all this stuff, we're not getting them. And so our body is always hungry for these micronutrients, always kind of like fiddling and trying to get it. And we make it some more chips and French fries and whatnot, and we never get it. So we massively overeat.
Mostly, we eat too many refined carbohydrates found in sweets like desserts and starches like breads. They raise our blood sugar, which makes us want more.
But if you have big blocks like rice cakes, pancakes, bagels, white bread, French toast, you have a big carb load. And that is the primary reason that so many of us are overweight and have diabetes. Studies out of Harvard Medical School show that if you drop that carb load, your fasting blood sugar is going to come down and the weight is going to come off.
Eating too many of these carbohydrates not only makes us fat, it can also lead to disease. The sugar and starch overload causes inflammation, which is blamed for health problems ranging from heart attacks to cancer.
But the key thing about inflammation, which we're getting from our diet, is it affects our brain. And it affects the neurotransmitters in there, so we feel just plain terrible. And it's the main reason that people who are overweight, they don't have the motivation, they're not fired up, they can't get out, they can't exercise because they feel terrible.
So by avoiding those carbs, you'll reduce inflammation, lose weight, and feel more energetic. Refined carbohydrates are also low in nutrition and high in calories. So replace them with foods that are just the opposite, low in calories but high in nutrition. Foods like chia. More grocery stores and health food stores are carrying chia, or you can buy it online. A 1-pound bag usually costs about $12. The mostly flavorless seeds can be added whole or ground to just about any food or drink. Dr. Arnott mixes a 1/4 cup with 2 other superfoods, blueberries and kale, along with Greek yogurt, honey, and water for a meal he says can be life-changing.
So you have the smoothie, and with that, your inflammation goes like this, your glucose load goes like this, you feel full, and your brain feels amazingly great right away. It's not a matter of, a week or two. Within 6 hours, you will feel the difference.
So by replacing refined carbohydrates with foods high in nutrients and low in calories, you'll be on the road to weight loss, increased energy, and quite possibly a longer life. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Up next, the Idaho woman who's jumping into her 102nd birthday in style.
My feet hurt. My feet hurt, your feet hurt. White hot pain, I wanna cry. Is there anything I can try?
Why, yes! Introducing Strut Soul Angels, the human shock absorber that helps alleviate foot pain.
The first 10 steps in the morning to the bathroom were excruciating. Within 3 days after I put Struts on, it's been such a relief.
Slipped it on and almost immediately I felt a support, kind of like a pillow underneath my arches.
The Struts Soul Angel provides a great amount of relief and support throughout the course of the day, providing shock absorption and relief of pain.
On your feet without proper support can be painful. Strut Soul Angels promotes better balance, control, and body alignment. Standing in your heels all day is painful, but slip on Struts and you'll enjoy comfort and support 24/7. Struts is so versatile, you'll wear them in every shoe you own, even barefoot.
I'm on my feet all the time. I teach 11 and 12-year-olds. The pain was so much that I knew I had to do something. And with the Struts, I can do my job and enjoy my job.
I usually am on my feet from 8 to 12 hours a day. When I wear my Struts, it's like giving my feet a hug all day.
It's life-changing. I wear them from the minute I get up to the minute I go to bed.
Why pay $400 for custom orthotics?
Now get Strut Soul Angels for just $10. You also get Miracle Foot Repair Cream, absolutely free. Use it to help relieve dry, callous feet overnight. But wait, call right now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Plus, you get a 100% money-back guarantee. If not completely delighted, send it back. But keep the foot cream as our gift just for trying. You get it all. A $70 value for just $10.
Oh, yes! Love my Struts, love my Struts. The best thing since sliced bread. They heal pain from toes to head. Get yours now, your doctor said.
Struts, be nice to your feet. Call now.
Call 1-800-787-1580 and get your Struts and Miracle Foot Repair for just $10 and we'll double the offer. That's 1-800-787-1580 or visit getstruts.com.
An Idaho woman is literally jumping at the idea of her second year as a centenarian. Dorothy Custer turned 102 years old on May 30th, but instead of laying low, she went base jumping off a bridge.
Why am I?
Why are you?
I've kind of asked myself that too. I guess it's because I don't know any better. I was going to jump out of a plane, but then I found it was too much, so I said, well, forget it. I'll just have a very calm birthday. I never thought of age. I just went on living and having a good time and doing what was necessary.
She's the oldest lady that I've ever jumped with. I'm really excited. I'm excited for her mostly because I don't know, I've never met a lady her age that actually wanted to jump off.
Wow, look at her go. Well, last year, Dorothy ziplined for the first time. This year's tandem jump was a gift from her family. Wow, I don't know about that family there. Well, that's all for this edition of NewsWatch. Remember, you can email us your comments and questions at newswatch@cbn.com. Hope you'll join us next time.